Hey everybody! Today we're going to talk about my Blade Chroma and what happened with customer support. As you know, I had an issue with my Chroma when I was out in the mountains and it started just doing all this wonky stuff. So today's video is going to go over all that and show you what happened. So I recently went on a trip from Texas out to Colorado and I brought my Blade Chroma and I did all kinds of filming. I'm still tons of footage that I'm working on. But today we're just going to show you the footage of it going crazy. I mean, I lost complete control. My transmitter would stop working and just things shot straight up in the air, came shooting straight back down. I had no control. It wasn't a GPS loss issue either. So I'll show you that footage, talk a little about it, and I'm going to tell you what customer support told me, which was alright. So this is Breckenridge and we climbed all the way up towards the top of the mountain. You can see as I'm taking off, everything's working fine. Absolutely beautiful place. It's a lake right there where the runoff from the snow melts and collects and makes this crystal clear lake. And it's a real shame that this happened because I was never able to get the footage that I actually wanted while I was up here. Crazy thing is I've flown other quads up in the mountains. I've never had this issue. I've had my Chroma up there multiple times, never had these issues. And the issue continued to happen even after I was out of these elevations. You ask what that issue is. Well, to clarify, the Blade Chroma had no control of elevation. On its own, it went directly up and down multiple times, as you'll see in the rest of this video. So as I'm coming around and panning this, getting footage for later use, you can see everything's working normal. Okay, so you'll quickly see a glimpse of Breckenridge right there, and I think I panned back to it for a second. But we're coming up to the issue, and I'm trying to fly over to the top of Imperial Chair and see if I can see over the peak, and all of a sudden, when I get over there, the quad just goes straight up. Like I'm not controlling it with the right stick. Right here, it starts going up. It's really hard to tell because the gimbal is so smooth and everything is so smooth and everything's scale is so large, but I probably climbed at least 100 feet right there. I mean, it was doing it completely on its own. Right there, I'm using the right stick to bring it back to me, and slowly I'm able to get it to start descending, but it's not descending anywhere near the rate that it should. I'm flying on rabbit mode at this point. I'm just glad I was able to get it back to me. I mean, the thing jumped at least 100 feet in the air. It showed me on my remote the difference in heights. As you can see right here, it's sort of going down and then back up again. I'm not doing that. It's completely going up and down its own. When it shot up this time, I'm about freaked out. My girlfriend could hear me screaming no, and I'm running towards it. Luckily, I was able to get it to land. The left stick was pretty much doing whatever it wanted. It would go up, down on its own. Luckily, I had a little bit of control with the right stick to be able to get it back to me and eventually land it and get it back in my control. Okay, so as you can see, well, it's sort of hard to see, but trust me, the thing jumped up about 100 feet. At that point, my heart was just thumping. I was freaking out. I thought I was going to have what the dreaded Chroma flyaway. When I got it back in control, I got it back to me. I landed it. I recalibrated everything. Compass, accelerometers, everything's from scratch, recalibrated it, got it ready to go again. Thought it was just some kind of wonky thing, maybe with the IMU board. I tried it again, and this is what happened. So this is after recalibrating. Everything should, in theory, work. But as you can see, when I take off, I'm not controlling it. It's just going to its left, and then all of a sudden goes straight down. So I just land it and grab it real quick. And if you think that's something, Watch this next video. This is where it really gets wonky. Once again, everything has been recalibrated before this flight. I have virtually no control over this. My left stick and right stick are doing pretty much nothing. My camera points down without me doing a thing. The entire thing is flying on its own. It's just completely going up and down. There's almost no wind, so it really makes no sense. As you can see here, I run over and grab it just because it's starting to go up, and I'm afraid it's going to just continue going up, but I grab it just in time before it takes off on me. So after all that, my nerves were just a mess. So I packed it up, and we started walking down the mountain, and I got to a point after an hour or so walking down the mountain that I decided to pull it out. It was just a beautiful view, and we tried it again. So it worked, but I was incredibly cautious. I'm not sure why it did what it did earlier, but you can see here or there that it worked okay. I didn't do anything crazy, just a quick little view. The next day, I went over to Loveland Pass, and I decided to fly up there. So it's an absolutely gorgeous drive. You definitely should check it out sometime. So it flies normal the first time. I got some footage. This side. Anyways, then we drive over to this other spot, and it's another spot with water, very similar peak to what was at Breckenridge, and the same basic thing happens. Alright, so I'm taking off here, and so far everything seems fine yet again. This is another really cool, crystal clear little small lake that I wanted to go over with the camera pointing straight down so you could see into it. But as I cross the lake, I'm heading over to the other side, and I was going to go up and look over that peak, but right as I get over to this other side, it starts flying on its own. I really have no control of it. I turn around, I'm able to get it to turn around, and I start to try to head back towards me, and it's just dropping. As it's coming back towards me, it's just dropping out of the sky. So right here, you can see it's going sideways. I'm not directing it to go that way. I'm actually turning it and heading back home towards me as home point. And right here, as it's dropping, I'm actually pushing full stick elevation up in the sky, and it's just dropping. And as it's going up in the sky here, I'm actually now pulling down on the stick. So it's almost like it has a lag in the control. I've got full stick down. It's going up completely like this. It's a beautiful shot. I couldn't have planned it if I wanted to make it that pretty, but it definitely wasn't me controlling it. That's Arapahoe Basin ski resort there to the right. So I'm able to get it to come back down finally, and I'm just trying to get it in my possession so I don't have to fly away, because I really didn't want to hike over the tops of these mountains to try to get this back. And there's my girlfriend. And that's me. And again, I didn't make the camera point down, so it's doing some really weird stuff. Just grab it, and turn it off. After flying and almost landing in the water, I decided to pack it up and call product support. So I called Horizon. They verified that even with a GPS loss, I should have control with my transmitter. There is at no point GPS loss should make my drone shoot up 100+ feet up in the air or just drop the way that it was doing. Since I had IMU board problems before, we came to the conclusion that most likely it was something to do with the IMU board again. The rest of my trip, I did fly it a couple other times, thinking that maybe, just maybe, I'd be lucky and it was just an elevation thing. I wasn't that lucky. I stopped at the border of Colorado, New Mexico. I got a little footage there. It didn't take off on me, but it was really sort of sketchy to fly. I stopped in New Mexico at a rest stop. That's only about maybe 2,500, 3,000 feet above sea level. Same issues. I'll go ahead and play some of these videos in the background just so you have something to look at besides this ugly mug of mine. Now, let's fast forward a little bit. I sent it in to Horizon support, and I finally get a call back a few weeks later. He basically told me he flew it for a couple of minutes of the battery. He did not look at any of the information on my SD card. He admitted to that. He skimmed my videos, is what he said, and decided immediately when it flew fine for him without calibrating that it was all due to the altitude. If it was all due to the altitude, why the hell when I dropped from 12,000 feet to 3,000 feet did it do the same thing? Where's the altitude there? The tech pretty much admitted to me that he didn't do his job. So I asked him to at least go back in, fly it for a full battery, see if it was intermittent for him, because there were a couple of flights that I did do after the first incident where I had no issues. Since then, I've spoken with companies like Altel. I've spoken with DJI about their Phantom 4. I have even talked with people about Unique products. And Unique does offer a firmware for higher altitude, but that is the only product that I've found that seems to do that. Yeah, either Horizon's product is a piece of shit, or their technician is a piece of shit. Pardon my French. When you spend a lot of money on something like this, you expect it to work, and if it doesn't work, you expect the company to at least put the time into it to try to figure out why. A thin altitude isn't going to make it just shoot up like a rocket. This is not going to happen. At this point, I'm completely dissatisfied with Horizon's customer support. The actual tech guy seems like he's just not really wanting to do his job. So what's the point? What's the point of using a product and a service that doesn't seem to want to put the effort in? So with all that said, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with mine. I love the fact that I can break it down and fit it in just a regular backpack, which I'll be adding a video soon to show you that. I have tons of videos that I'm working on right now from the footage that I was able to get on my trip. If you've never seen the Cadillac Ranch, go check out that video. There's all kinds of videos I'm working on with the Blade Chroma. I'm really debating picking up either a DJI Phantom 4 or the Autel X-Star Premium to add to my collection. Right now the Chroma is the only one that really breaks down the way that it does. I have another video that shows that I'm working on. So again, subscribe, like, stay with me. I'm working on more things all the time.